Welcome to Grover Load, and I'm going to go over some of my thoughts of the Nothing Phone 3. It's been over a month here of using this phone, and I've been impressed overall, right? I'm not going to dive too much into the specs. We're going to do a quick overview of them, right? I think specs on the phone for especially these, more flagship models, they are, while there's improvement year over year, does it really make a difference on me getting my work done and how I use the phone these days? No. Most importantly, is the phone getting kind of OS, some security updates, and is it capable of being able to make sure I get all my messages and do the tasks I need to do? And overall, the phone has done that. Now, nothing does include a few things in the box that are like nice to haves, I would say. One is a USB cable, right? That's a nice thing to have. They don't have a charger, which I did buy a charger from them, and it's got like two USB-Cs and a USB-A. Works great actually. Yeah, I like it. I like that a lot. And it also has a case, so you can kind of see I got the rubber case on this here. Well, it's got my light and my camera. You're going to see that in the kind of the reflections. But that case works pretty good overall there. So that's great, right? You get a nice little case with it. Nice little added bonus, right? And then there's the phone itself, and that comes in the case. You have the glyph stuff, so I think you can see it there. You can see it's got little stuff up in the corner here, and that kind of works pretty cool. It's a nice little toy, but I actually use it to check the power more often than not because I put my phone face down, hit that to see if I need a charger or not. I charge it up. It has this whole thing with charging to go up to 80% it wants to help make the battery life or the battery last longer, which I'm okay with. I work from home, and I'm, if I'm in a vehicle, I have a charger there. So there's a lot of areas where the charger just is available to me to at least top it off enough, so I have enough battery power for whatever I'm doing. And so if that helps me get a longer life out of the phone, I'm all for it. And that's one benefit I think I like to see is that I had the One Plus, and it was getting a little bit of cracks here. My wife's was really cracked in there, and so we updated. And as long as this last has updates, I think that this is going to be a last 4 years, give or take, maybe 5 years. And as long as it's getting updates and stuff and reliable, it's good. I mean, it's got a good, I was looking at the tech specs here just to make sure I come into something and have it right. You get a couple options. I got the 16 gig 500 or 16 gigs of RAM, 512 gigs of storage. There's also a 12 and 256, and you can choose from black and white. This happens to be the black model, as you saw, and that's just because, well, uh, that's what they had on sale. They were selling these for $7.99, and that kind of got me in and be like, okay, an option. It's very close to the OnePlus 9 5G in terms of size, maybe a little bit heavier and a little bit thicker, but for me, that is no big a deal. You got the Snapdragon 8S Gen 4 on it, so 8 cores on there, 3.1 gigahertz, one prime core, and then 7 performance cores, and then it has the MPU, the GPU on it, all that fun stuff. And then it's got 3 cameras, a 50 megapixel main camera, and then it's got another 50 megapixel camera, and you can go and look at all the OSI, ESI on it, autofocus, etc. that it all has. The ultra wide camera, I have to say, I do switching between these cameras, and it kind of gives me an option to kind of put the camera into a mode and something so I can take the best picture of how I want it framed. And I have kids and stuff, so I like to take pictures of stuff they're doing. And overall, the picture quality on it, I'm very impressed with. And it's been able to take photos and stuff where I like and zoom in areas where I don't really have access to, right? We had some flooding here, and I wanted some pictures and stuff while it was happening, sent it to some people. And yeah, it was fun not to be able to have to go down and wade through some of that stuff to be able to get the pictures. It did a good job overall. So You know, if you're looking at stuff like that, you know, camera wise, I think they had a really good setup. You know, they also have a nice display on this. You know, it's got 120 hertz on it, works quite well, and I didn't realize how much I liked the faster screen. I think the 95G was 90 hertz, and the 120 you can even notice it a lot smoother. uh, I like it. So, what are some other things here on the specs as well? Uh, let's see. You know, they're running Android. This is one area where I really want to focus, right? And one area really like. Now, I I wish that there would be third-party support of this phone, and I think it'll come overall. But having 5 years of Android updates and then 7 years of security updates is a big deal. I think it's one reason why people should actually look at Nothing for their phones. If they're going to be commit to something like this, it's going to be something that if people are going to buy the phone, at least, you know, if I get 5 years of Android updates, this phone might last 6 years, and I'm okay with that. For a $799, $800 phone for 7 years, I'm perfectly okay with that. You know, will it last that long? I hope so. You know, I may get an itch to upgrade, but I'm not upgrading out of it being outdated, not getting updates. I'm updating because I want something else, right? And it could be a hand-me-down, right? I have kids, right? They can hand it down. It does have Wi-Fi 7 in it, on it, and then also Bluetooth 6, and then you got a whole bunch of your bands, and check to see if you have that. Audio is pretty good on it, and it does a very good job overall on the charging. I think it has Corning glass as well, and it's got the 7i glass on it, and it does a really good job. I'll make sure to post a link so you can go take a look at the specs and everything else on this phone. Now, the case works quite well. Like I have the case on it, and it does a really good job, right? So you can kind of see it does. If well, I'm trying to not focus on getting it's shiny, but it does a good job overall, right? And I like the case. It's protected, and I think I kind of slid it off something once, and it did a good job. The one problem, or the one thing I really don't like, you know, you got your power, and then you got your volume on this side. There's this other stupid button. It's like the essential space button that's down here underneath the power button. I've hit this button way too many times. I need it programmed to something else. It is the most annoying button, Nothing. I'm not using this essential spaces. I want to use my phone, and just as is, I don't want to take the screenshot and then me have to delete all this stuff that I don't want. It's very annoying to me. I don't have a use case for it. Let me reprogram it to something else. And so far, I haven't been able to find that reprogram through the settings, and so it's just a little bit annoying to me. The other problem I have, they apply a screen protector on this to start with. Well, that's fine. I'm perfectly okay with you applying the screen protector. In fact, I prefer it, right? It's consistent. However, with my wife's and my phone already, I don't know if you're going to be able to tell, but you can kind of tell right there a little bit. It's already starting to bubble. So you got these bubbles, and this is just, you know, me throwing it in my pocket, and sometimes it's in with my keys, which I would expect. I had a Nothing phone that was just fine with that, and it hasn't damaged the screen. The screen's fine from because it's not punctured. It's just somehow it kind of got bubbled up, and I don't get how it did it right. I'm not in my pocket. I don't know, but it is one thing that my wife's phone and my phone, it is now bubbled up, which means I'm going to have to buy screen protectors there. And I don't remember if they have all the screen protectors for sale yet. I hope they do, because that would be that'd be crucial for me to replacing it. I would like them to do it, but there is um, there's just something with how they did the screen protector that isn't good on this overall. Now, everything still is working, you know, the fingerprint sensor, all that stuff seems to work really well, and everything else is just, I'm annoyed that it has uh, the screen protector bubbling overall. So, Nothing, overall, they've been growing more and more, in my opinion. They've been getting more stuff out. They have like the 3A, the 3A Pro phones that have already been out. They have some headphone stuff there as well. And I was thinking they also have the CMF Phone 2 and the Phone 2 Pro as well. They have a watch and other stuff. I don't necessarily have a item for the watch, or a use for the watch, but it is something that they do have. Now, it does not look like they have a couple chargers, and they're 35 bucks for a 45 watt. They have their CMF Power 100 watt is $59, which I got, and then they have a 65 watt as well for 40 bucks. And yeah, I think those are all perfect options. I actually use those to be able to help charge like a laptop first. So that's why I got the 100, because then I can plug the laptop and the phone in. Works really good. So I didn't see any screen protectors on here, so I'll have to go on probably Amazon and find them. Something that they should sell more of, in my opinion, because these are they're something like this, right? That happens at the bubble. I want to replace it, right? I want to get a new screen protector on there, and well, it works fine and everything else. It just, the bubbles up when the phone's off is annoying to me. It's not so much while it's on, it's while it's off. It's annoying to me. So I don't like that. But overall, the phone, I really like the design on the back, right? You've seen you, the back of this design. Oof, I'm trying to keep it at a slight angle so my lights don't catch it. Here, but I like the design on the back. I'll post, a link. You can go to it, and in the description below. Yeah, I like that sort of design where it shows off the internals. It's cool to me. My wife does have one of those folding cases that fold around the phone. She really likes that. Finally, somebody came out with one that was on Amazon, so that's kind of how she's done all her phones, is that she likes to be able to have that, which is fine. Whatever she wants to have her, on her phone, it makes no deal to me. It was like a $10-20 case someplace in there. It's nothing to just make sure it's easy to use in the use model she likes, right? So that's the one thing here that I was annoyed with. Overall, the phone's performance, battery life is very good. I have no complaints about it. Again, it's doing that 80% charge. I use it all for over a day, and then while I'm at my desk or something, it's like, hey, you're a little low. I plug it in and let it top itself off up to 80%, and it seems to do a really good job on there. I know that sometimes batteries, especially, they don't like it when you get too low. I actually would like to see a notification here when it's in the ideal charging range, to keep that charged, to make sure you get kind of the longest battery life for cases like mine, and be like, you should charge now. We're in a area where you want it for the longest battery life. Here's where you should charge. I'm okay with that. Maybe not everybody is, and should be able to turn that off. But software-wise, it's Android, right? There's not too much I can say about it. While I like it to be able to also do like third-party OSs and them support it, or third-party Androids, I should say, or more that are more sandboxed. Hopefully that comes. Don't just always do the official Google phones. Maybe they can do some of the other phones here as well. But it's a pretty newer phone overall, and we'll see what it comes to with that. Let me know if you have any questions about this phone. I don't go through all the phone testing. I like much more of the computer side stuff. I think phones have gotten, while there's foldable stuff, everything else, I'm kind of disappointed in how it has progressed over. I think there's a lot more cool technology on the computer side, so I do a lot more testing there and stuff. So I don't focus on the phones too much, but I want to give you my thoughts, as it's another electronic device I'm using. And maybe if you're looking for a phone that um, maybe you're interested in, maybe take a look at the Nothing Phone 3 to see if it satisfies your needs. I kind of want to take and get like a Nothing Phone 3A or something, maybe for my kids, and they can use that to see how that performs versus this phone, to see if you really need it. I mean, they even have the Pro. Maybe there's just no need for somebody to go up to the 3 the phone 3, but I wasn't going to take that chance, and I was going to get something good. My wife likes to take a lot of photos. I like to, especially of the kids and stuff and what they're doing. I like to take photos of that too. So we want to make sure that those kind of cover those bases there, and maybe I pick one up just to see how it compares. Right, it's $459 or $379, depending upon what phone you get there for the uh, 3A Pro or the 3A, and then you're spending like $799 at least, or $899 depending upon which phone 3 you get. So with that, let me know what your thoughts are on this in the comments below. I'll be sure to read them as well. Thank you so much for that and supporting this channel. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, as it really does help on the channel. So does watching another one of my videos. Till next time, God bless.